2 words, Delta, breathe.
What's going on, everyone? Delta Breeze here, bring guys the team breakdown for week 4 of the KPL. The San Antonio Sprites are going to take on the Victorian Victreebels, and you can see on the screen his team is right there. He has some heat, man. He has some heavy hitters. We are currently sitting at 1 win, 2 losses. That 1 win was the forfeit, of course, so we haven't technically really gotten a win or earned a win yet, so I'm hoping to do it this week, and I feel like I can do it. I have my notes right here. I have notes. I'm not going to forget items this time. I'm not going to forget moves. I'm here, man. I am here. I'm ready. I'm going to run through his team, go over some threats, some stuff to look out for, and then I'm going to go over my team of 6 and why I'm bringing it. First pick, he did pick King Gambit here, the Dark and Steel type. This thing is a physical wall, man. With 100 HP, 120 defense, and 135 attack, this thing hits hard like a truck. It can take hits, and with this typing, with the steel typing, it's very defensive typing. You got to hit it on the special side to kind of put a dent in it. This thing likes to run black glasses, a sucker punch for priority, kowtow cleaves, a really powerful dark type move which gets stabbed, iron head, try to maybe sets up a trick room and goes iron head flinches, and that thing can steamroll, especially with its ability Supreme Overlord. If it's the last one saved in his team and he gets sent out last and everyone else is down, his attack stat is buffed for each member that is fallen in his party. So if I kill 5 of his members and he's the last one standing, sucker punches are going to do a lot, man, and I really have to look out for that. Next, Blaziken is 100% bring. There's not a question about it. And the only reason for that being is speed boost is legal this season. He is allowed to run speed boost at its ability. After each turn, its speed goes up 1. Just protect turn 1, speed boost, and then kind of, again, powerhouses, like I said. And it's crazy, this is the 3rd week in a row where I face a firefighting starter, so we just gotta do it one more time, right? This thing's seen as a mixed attacker, but it's more on the physical side with 120 physical attack. Overall, it has great coverage, but its ability speed boost is the thing that gives it its heat, man. So I gotta make sure I watch out and kind of count how much speed and see and look at the speed tiers and calculate correctly. But other than that, like, Blaziken's on my radar, I prepped for it, and it's 100% bring, 100%. Next, his second starter, he has Primarina from Alola, the water and fairy type. This thing is his special wall, kind of pairs really nicely with King Gambit. I know week 1 he kind of swept his opponent with this thing, so I have a clear answer for this thing. Its typings alone are very defensive and offensive, great coverage with water, fairy, and then even some other stuff. But its ability, liquid voice, kind of makes any sound type moves like boom burst or hyper voice or anything like that. It turns them into a water type, so those are very powerful stab type water moves from Primarina. So maybe I have a Pokemon that has water absorb and is resistant to fairy. We'll see. Next, the Swiss Army knife of Pokemon. He has Mew, the original mythical Pokemon from Generation 1. This thing gets every move under the sun, and I'm not even over exaggerating. Look at its move TM 1, 2, 3, all the way down. It gets every single move, so it helps that it's only able 4 moves with that move slot syndrome, but it could literally be anything. It'd be Choice Band with 4 physical moves, Choice Specs with 4 special moves, has 100 base stats across the board. Like, this thing's scary. This thing's really scary. It's really hard to prep for because you don't know what set it could be. It could be Roost, Thunder Wave, Stealth Rocks, kind of like a utility set. It could Choice Scarf, and as soon as I see it, I need to start writing stuff down and kind of get an understanding of what set this Mew is. Next, he has Gengar. Gengar is a glass cannon. It's super fast and it has a good special attack stat, but its defenses and even its HP is pretty low. So I expect this thing to be brought maybe with like a Choice Scarf or a Focus Sash. So it's moving first always, or it lives on 1. It could take a hit. But with that being said, if it does run that, you get Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave for stab, and then maybe a Will-O-Wisp, Trick, Shenanigans, maybe a Focus Blast if he's trying to be cheeky. But other than that, like, it's pretty clear cut with Gengar, but its speed and its special attack do make it a threat, so I can't sleep on it. Next, he has this Terra Captain with Flygon being Terra Dragon, Fire, and Steel. One thing I know about this thing, I cannot let it get up a Dragon Dance. This thing is very scary when it's +1 in both speed and attack. It gets Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Steel Wing, and its ability Levitate makes it so I can't use a ground type move on it, and those Terra types are going to help it out a lot. It resists Ice, Levitate, it gets rid of its ground weakness, so it's gonna be a bring for sure. So I need to get rid of it ASAP as soon as I see it. Next, in my opinion, he has the second best form of Rotom. He has Rotom Heat right here. This thing's cool with this ability Levitate. It gets rid of that ground type weakness, so it's only weak to water and rock. And just like we've seen in the past with Rotom, this thing's almost as predictable. Its movesets: Overheat, Discharge, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, Trick. That's what Rotom is known for, so that's what I'm probably going to see if I do see it. Important thing to note, if he uses Overheat, it drops his special attack too, so if I do see it, and if I can try to bait it to use an Overheat, it gives me a good clear switch in, or I can use that to build my momentum, so hopefully I see my opening and I take it with this one. His next Terra Captain being Pro passes Rock, Ghost, and Electric. If I see this thing, it's going to be its lead. Its ability Sturdy lets it live on 1. It gets hazards. It can be annoying with like Body Press with a high defense stat, so if I do see it, it probably will be a lead, and I plan for that. Not too worried about this thing, but I got answers. Next, he has Whimsicott. It's really good in double battles, but in single battles, it leaves a bit to be desired. The one thing this thing has going for it is the ability Prankster, just like Thundurus. So it is fast, but it's very frail. It's a Whimsicott. It's usually ran Focus Sash to live on 1 because it can't take a hit for anything. So I don't expect it to be brought, but I'm ready. Last on this dude's team is Ursaring, and I am not sleeping on Ursaring whatsoever. Now that it can evolve, it can hold Eviolite to boost its defenses, and with a high attack stat at 130, this thing is a monster. Even with no Eviolite, a Flame Orb puts in the work with Guts or Quick Feet. So I really have to kind of, I'm writing stuff down as I go. I need to make sure I know what item this thing has, so if I don't see a Flame Orb or a Toxic Orb proc, then it's probably going to be the Eviolite, very bulky. If not, it's going to be Guts, and I'm scared. 130 attack stat with Guts. Yeah. But that's his team. Let me go ahead and go over my team and what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. You probably already guessed what I'm starting off with. You already know I'm bringing Iron Valiant. Like I said last week, this thing is too good to leave at home. So I'm bringing Lancelot here, my shiny Iron Valiant, with the Expert Belt to do extra damage with those super effective moves. We're rocking Moonblast, Aura Sphere, Psychic, and Shadow Ball. All great moves that hit almost everything on his team super effectively, so the Expert Belt's going to come nice. I did the calcs. A max special defense King Gambit with an Assault Vest cannot take an Aura Sphere from a max special attack timid Iron Valiant. It can't. The only thing it can save it from is a Chople Berry, but I think Chople Berry is a waste of an item on a King Gambit. But I think that's really cool information that an Assault Vest can't even save King Gambit from an Aura Sphere. So that's good information to know, and maybe he knows it, maybe he doesn't know it, but I know it. Next, we have someone who's just been putting in the work, and I cannot let this thing get too low. I'm bringing my shiny Clodsire Jumbo here with the Black Sludge. If it ain't broke. This we're gonna bring a Rock Tomb, Poison Jab, Recover, and Protect. And if you're thinking why Rock Tomb, I think lowering speed on stuff is very useful. And then this is a good answer to Rotom Heat, and with Levitate, I can't hit it with the ground type move, so I thought this was the next best thing. And then lowering speed would be really nice. This is also my guaranteed answer for Primarina. It is water absorb, it is a poison type, so it resists both of its stabs, so I can just sit in there, recover, protect, and just stall it out. Poison Jab is going to be super effective damage on the Primarina, so this thing is my guaranteed answer to Primarina, and maybe even Rotom Heat. Next, Thundurus is coming back, baby. We have Sparkles here holding the Terrain Extender to boost the longevity of my Electric Terrain, for Iron Valiant to boost its speed. I forgot to mention that its speed is the highest stat, so on Electric Terrain, he'll be fast. Rocking Volt Switch for momentum, Dark Pulse to hit the Mew, the Gengar, Thunder Wave for speed control, and then Electric Terrain to help out its buddy Iron Valiant, and then Prankster, of course, for those priority in the non-attacking moves. Max special attack, max speed with a modest nature. I'm going to do a lot of damage with Volt Switch and Dark Pulse and just be annoying. This thing hasn't been shining as well as I wanted it to, so hopefully this week will be its week. Next, returning for a second week, we have my shiny Goldango here, Skater Boy. He is holding that weakness policy. I'm really hoping this comes in clutch with a bunch of knockoff users and the Gengar there. We're rocking Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Power Gem, and Recover. Max special attack, max HP. A Steel move didn't look very promising for this week, so these are the 3 moves I'm going with. Recover is for the longevity, and then weakness policy hopefully boost my stats if I get hit with the knockoff, and it'll actually proc before it gets knocked off, so that's really nice to know. And these moves are really good for coverage. Shadow Ball for the Mew, the Gengar, Focus Blast for that King Gambit, Power Gem for the Rotom Heat. So I'm not messing around. Next, I vow to give Entei the justice it deserves. We're rocking Choice Band Entei this week. Choice Band just makes it hit super, super hard. We're rocking Sacred Fire, Stomping Tantrum, Crunch, and Extreme Speed. This is his week. This is his week. We have Sacred Fire to hit pretty hard. I'm actually going to change it. I'm actually changing Stomping Tantrum to Stone Edge. Just kind of the same reason why I don't have Earthquake on Clodsire. Crunch, and then Extreme Speed for that priority. With the Choice Band, hopefully Extreme Speed just kind of dwindles things down and lets Iron Valiant kind of clean up at the end. Crunch for the Mew and the Gengar, and then the Stone Edge, not Stomping Tantrum, Stone Edge. It'll hit the Blaziken at neutral, but it's going to be a very strong hit. Flygon if it's Terrafire, and then the Rotom Heat with Levitate. So I think this is a good moveset, and hopefully this is Entei's week, man. I say that every week, but I want Entei to shine, and we'll see. And last, with another firefighting starter on his team, Ember was first, now Infernape, with now Blaziken. Quillfish checks those firefighting starters so well. With Intimidate, drops those attack stats. It resists both stabs. I have the Air Balloon here in case that Blaziken's running Earthquake. The Flygon's gonna run Earthquake, so I can get that going. We have Flip Turn to get out of there. Thunder Waves for speed control, and then Hazard stacks. I want Toxic Spikes and Spikes on the field ASAP. I found them very useful in my mock battle, so hopefully he doesn't bring Defog on the Flygon or anything else that can get rid of him, and that's the plan with my team. That's my team, you guys. I'm gonna try really hard to get that win and go 2-2. I cannot kind of dip down. I'm in the green area for playoffs right now, and I cannot lose that, so I'm gonna try my best. I have my notes. I got this. But thank you guys so much for watching. The battle will go up tomorrow morning, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.